I used to believe a lie. I remember working my 9 to 5, feeling stuck, feeling miserable, and feeling like I was just one of many. And I see people starting businesses, making moves, and creating freedom for themselves. But to myself, I thought, well, that could never be me because I just don't have what it takes. I told myself that I wasn't experienced enough or that I didn't have the right credentials or the right degree, and that ultimately I just wasn't qualified to step out on my own. Meanwhile, every single day at work, I was solving problems, I was creating systems, I was streamlining processes, and I was making things run smoother and more efficiently for my employer. So basically, I was doing for someone else's company what I didn't believe I could do for myself. And that right there was the lie. I already had what I needed inside me, but I couldn't see it at the time. And I know that I'm not the only one. Self doubt has a way of making you blind to your own value. It convinces you that what you do effortlessly isn't worth anything, and that because something may come naturally to you, it must not be that special. But today, we're going to expose self doubt for what it really is. We're going to break it down, we're going to get to the root of it, and talk about how you can overcome it for good. If you're new here, my name's Vanessa, and this is where we talk about wisdom, faith, and freedom, because I believe that for every problem, there's always a solution, and that as believers, we are called to a life of freedom, not just in our personal lives, but also for our business. And so, as I said before, we're going to get down to the root of self-doubt. Self-doubt doesn't come from nowhere. It always has a source. I want you to understand that. And most of the time, it's rooted in a few different places. One of the main ones is your past experiences. Maybe there's something in the past that you've tried to do and it failed or it didn't go the way you thought it would. Or maybe in the past, you had a mother, a father, a previous coworker, a teacher, anyone tell you that you weren't good enough for something. Another source of self-doubt is comparison. You might be looking at people and aspiring to be someone, not understanding that that individual is 10 steps ahead of the process, and you're judging your current status based upon what they've been trying to build and working on for years. Or you're assuming that what they have going on in their life is better than you just because of what you're seeing visibly on social media or online, not realizing that the behind the scenes of what's happening for them may be nothing like what you expect it to be. And then lastly, we have the fear of failure, right? The what if it doesn't work? What if people don't accept me? What if people don't receive me? What if people don't buy into my product? What if people don't think that I make sense? But you constantly being stuck in a fear of failure robs you of the opportunity to ever receive or experience success. And so for me, I spent years simply being an employee. I had been conditioned, right? I mean, conditioned to believe that my value was simply tied to a job description or to a paycheck or to what someone else allowed me to do. And if you spent years being told who you are and what you're worth and what you're qualified for, of course, stepping out on your own and doing something different is going to feel impossible for you. But here's the truth. Self-doubt is just a mindset. And one of the greatest things about mindsets is they can be changed. And one of the ways that you change them is identifying what is truth versus what your feelings are. Yes, there is a difference. Your feelings are not always true, okay? Yes, your feelings are real. Your feelings are there. Your feelings are present, and they should be, but your feelings are not always true, and they should not be the driver of your decisions. You may feel like you're not ready. You may feel like you don't know enough. You may feel like someone else is more qualified than you, but what's the truth? The truth is you already have the skills because you've been using them every single day. The truth is experience isn't always measured by titles or degrees. It's measured by the results that you're able to bring for people, which you've probably been doing. And the truth is that there are people right now making money for what you're doing for other people for free. Yes, there are people that are making money doing stuff that you are offering to do for other people for no cost. So what does that tell you? It has nothing to do with your skill set. It has nothing to do with your value. It has everything to do with your decisions and the perception that you have of yourself. One thing that helped me in overcoming this was taking inventory of what I was actually doing. My mentor, whom I love and adore, told me to do what he calls a skills audit. And it required me to think of, okay, when I've worked with businesses or I've worked with different employers or when I've been in different spaces, what are things that I was able to accomplish for them? What did I come there to do? What was the results and the impact of me being there, right? And when you write these things down, you put yourself in a corner, in a good corner, because now you can't lie to yourself and say that you're unqualified. You can no longer lie to yourself and say that you don't have skills. You can no longer lie to yourself and say that you don't have what it takes, because now the proof is there. Your feelings can no longer dictate your decisions once you have taken inventory and you've been able to identify what problems do people already come to me for? What results have I already helped people to achieve? What am I doing naturally that could be turned into something even greater for the next person? When I stopped focusing on feelings of inadequacy and started looking at the facts, I realized that I had been equipped this entire time. But the truth is, I never would have reached this place if it hadn't been for my mentor who told me to look within. This highlights the idea, right, that who you're listening to will begin to become an inner voice in your mind. The voices around you are either going to feed your faith or they're going to fuel your fear. I had to ask myself, am I surrounding myself with people who are wanting to keep me in a small place? Am I surrounding myself with people who don't believe in me? Because how am I going to start to believe in myself if I'm surrounded by people who don't believe in me too? Because if we're honest, some people benefit from your self-doubt. Yes, they benefit from you playing small. They benefit from you allowing them to treat you any kind of way. They benefit from you not stepping out. They benefit from you not believing in yourself because it keeps you in a position that serves them and not you. So if you're feeling stuck, it's also time for you to take a serious look at your circle. Do they challenge you to see your own greatness? Do they remind you of what's possible? Are they reinforcing your doubts and fears, or are they calling you to a higher place? Because sometimes overcoming self-doubt isn't simply about you doing more. It's about you letting go of the voices that are keeping you small. And one of the biggest things to overcoming self-doubt, and this is going to sound so simple, but it's to do it anyways. There is no point of time where you're going to feel perfect and amazing and that you have no flaws and that you have no issues and that there's nothing about yourself that could be better. And if you do feel that way about yourself, you ought not to, right? Because we always have room and areas within us that can be better and that can be improved. But when you're waiting to be perfect before you move, that's a problem, and you're always going to stay stagnant. It's not about you being perfect. It's about you being willing to make progress. And it's impossible to make progress if you're not willing to move. So if you've taken inventory, you've looked at the people around you, you've identified where these thoughts or where these feelings of self-doubt are coming from, and now you understand the difference between what you feel and what is true, it means that you have what it takes to move forward, and it's time for you to act. If you're struggling with self-doubt right now, let me remind you, you are already enough. You already have what it takes. The only thing left to do is for you to see it for yourself. Take the inventory, separate truth from your feelings, and surround yourself with voices that will push you forward. And then just step out, because freedom isn't something you wait for. Freedom isn't something that you sit around and wait for. Freedom is not something that you wait to just fall in your lap. Freedom is something that has already inherently been given to you. It's time for you to walk in the fullness of that. And I promise you, everything that you're looking for is on the other side of you being willing to move. So let's do it. If this resonated with you, if you found this video to be helpful, please let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be doing more videos. This is me stepping out and me moving and me following my own advice in real time. Okay. So we're in this journey together. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.